This lesson is on how to find the mean, median, mode, and range. Those are also known as the measures of central tendency. First thing we're going to discuss is how to find the median. The median is the numbers that are exactly in the middle. And many of you have seen a street where cars are going down in this direction and cars are going in this direction. And right down the center of the street is a concrete strip, and a lot of times there's grass on it, maybe some trees and bushes. And this central thing right here is called the median. So this right here is called the median, and many of you may have heard this called the median, and that may help you remember that it is exactly in the middle. Now it's not always exactly in the middle of the street, but with numbers it is what's exactly in the middle of a set of numbers. So let's take a quick look here, and the first step to do to find the median is to arrange the numbers in order. And when we say in order, we're talking about from least to greatest. So these numbers right here, let's see if they're already in order. 72, 76, 85, 85, 85, 94, 94, 95. And yes, they are in order. And so if there are two numbers in the middle, then you find the median of the middle numbers. So let's count how many numbers we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Because there are 8 numbers, we can't say, okay, and here, let me show you how to verify what's in the middle. So you take off the first and the last, take off the first and the last, take off the first and the last, and if there's 2 left, that means there are 2 numbers in the middle. If there was an odd number, then there would be just 1 number left, and that would be the number, and you'd be done. But so you have 2 numbers here in the middle. So if there are 2 numbers in the middle, you find the mean of the middle numbers. And I'll give you a brief example of the mean before we explain it a little more later on. The mean is another word for average. It's what a lot of people call the average, but the mean is the average. So we'll take 85 and 85, these 2 numbers, we add them together. 5 and 5 is 10. 8 and 8 is 16, plus 1 is 17, so we have 170. And then we're looking at 2 of these numbers. We're looking 1, 2, so we've added 2 of those together, so we need to take 2 and divide that into 170. So 2 goes into 17, 8 times, 2 times 8 is 16, 17 minus 16 is 1, bring down the 0, 2 goes into 10, 5 times. So our median number is 85. I realize there are 2 of them here. They could be 2 different numbers. They could be 85 and 84. So you can't just look at it and say, oh, well, you know, it's 85 and I guess over here, if we 85 and 86, well, we'll just pick one of these. No, you actually have to find the mean. So make sure that what you do is verify which numbers are in the middle. If there's 1 of them, you found your mean. If there are 2 of them, if there is only 1 number in the middle, let's pretend that this number didn't exist in our list. So let's take a look at that. Take the first and the last. We've already arranged them in order from least to greatest. Take the first and the last. Take the first and the last, and we find our median is 85. But when there are 2 of them, you have to find the mean. We've already discussed how to find the mean, but let's go over it again just to be clear. Add up all of the numbers and then divide the sum, that's the total that you get, by the number of values. So we're adding up all these numbers, 85 plus 72 plus 94 plus 85 plus 95 plus 94 plus 85 plus 66. And the number that we get, our sum, is 686. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 values. So we're going to take 686, divide by 8, and if 686 divided by 8 equals 85 and 75 100ths, and that's how to find the mean. Now we're going to find the range. The range is the difference between the highest number and the lowest number. It's the difference. Well, there's a math word for difference, and it's called subtraction. So what we're going to do is, again, the first thing we do is put them in order from least to greatest. So let's verify that these numbers are indeed in order from least to greatest, and yes, they are. 72, 95. 95 is the greatest, 72 is the least. So we're going to take 95, our greatest number, and subtract the lowest number. And 95 minus 72 equals 23. So our range is 23. That's the distance. Range is distance, how far it is between 72 and 93. If we put this on a number line, and 72 was down here, and 95 was up here, there would be 23 whole spaces. I'm not going to do this accurately, but there would be 23 whole spaces in between those two numbers. The fourth measure of central tendency is called the mode. The mode is the number that occurs most often. There's a couple things you need to know. Sometimes there is no mode. If these two numbers did not exist, you would see, and we'd have to take away this one as well, we would see that 72, 76, 85, 94, 95, all of these occur exactly one time. So there would be no mode, and that's okay to say there is no mode if they all occur exactly the same amount of times. If they all occurred 2 times, well, there would be no mode. If they all occurred 3 times, there would be no mode. And sometimes there is more than one mode. Let's pretend, for instance, we had another 94 here, and we would have 85 occurs 3 times, 94 occurs 3 times, and so the mode here is 85 and 94. There's 2 numbers that occur the most often. So let's take a look at this, and we've got our numbers in order from least to greatest. That helps us to be able to see what numbers occur most often, because if you have just a jumble of numbers, it's really hard to see what you have. So 85 occurs 3 times, this occurs 2 times, this occurs only once, this occurs only once, this occurs only once. So the only number that occurs, the number that occurs the most is 85. So 85 is the number that occurs most often, so that is the mode. So let's talk a little bit more about give a little more visual understanding of it, and we have averages happens a lot in sports headlines and statistics. For example, a hockey player averages 2.8 shots per game, and the average athlete practices 8 hours per day. And there's a lot of different meanings for average, so we don't use necessarily the word just average. We use mean, median, mode, and range, and those are the measures of central tendency. So during an international tournament, the number of goals scored by the Canadian men's hockey team is shown in the chart. So we have 5 games here, and here are the number of goals. Let's take a look at it visually in a graph. So in game 1, they scored 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 goals. Game 2, they scored 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 goals. So you can see here that we have a visual representation of the number of goals in each game. So what we're going to do is arrange our numbers in order from least to greatest. So we have in game 3 they scored 2, in game 5 they scored 2, and here they scored 4, here they scored 5, and here they scored 6. I'm sorry, they scored 7 here. So now what we have here is in order from least to greatest. So let's continue on. We need to find the range. The range is the greatest number and the lowest number. So our greatest number is this one right here, which is 7, minus, and 7 minus 2 equals 5. So our range here is 5. Let's check that answer. And yes, that is correct, that the difference between the lowest and the highest is the range. And so the range is 5. So the most frequently occurring number, let's see. Well, we have only 1 7, we have 1 5, 1 4, but we have 2 that appears twice. So the most frequently occurring number is 2. Let's check that. And that is the mode. It is the number that occurs most often, most frequently occurring number. And again, there could be no mode, and there could be more than one mode. All right, since the numbers of the goals are arranged from least to greatest, we can find the middle value or number. Because there are 5 games, so we're going to eliminate the first one and the last one, the first one and the last one. There's only one left here in the middle, and that is the middle value, so that is 4. So we'll check that. And the median, just like the median of the street that goes right down the middle, the median is 4. And then the last measure is called the mean, or the arithmetic mean. It's not arithmetic, arithmetic mean. The mean is found by adding the total number of goals and dividing by the number of games. So we have 2 plus 2 plus 4 plus 5 plus 7, and we have to add those together. 2 and 2 is 4. 4 plus 4 is 8. 8 plus 5 is 13. 13 plus 7 is 20. So we have 20, and we're going to divide that by 5 because we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 scores that we added up. So 20 divided by 5 equals 4. So our answer here is going to be 4 for the mean, or the average, and that is correct. Next, it asks us to move the pucks so there's the same number of pucks in each row. So let's move some of these pucks around. And if I move them so that there's the same number of pucks in each row, let me kind of shuffle this here so it looks a little straighter, we can see there are 4 in each row. And sure enough, when they're distributed evenly, it's called the mean, and that is 4, which we've already identified. So the mean is 4, the median is 4, and the mode is 2. So describe how well the team did. Which measure would the coach look at? If you want to see how well the team did, he would probably look at the mean or the average. No, he wouldn't choose the mean. Every game and every opponent is different. The team is not going to score the same number of goals against every team. So let's see, is he going to score the median? And that is correct.